A major arson attack destroyed over 370 stalls at a bazaar in Iraqi Kurdistan's capital Erbil and left more than 100 injured. A Turkish nationalist group claimed responsibility for the blaze, citing historical claims to the territory. A Kurdistan National Congress delegation has called on US representatives to exert pressure on Turkey to halt military operations against Kurdish regions in the Middle East during a visit to Washington. A new UN-backed report has spotlighted the escalating ecological and humanitarian catastrophe in Kurdish-led north and east Syria as a result of Turkish bombardments on the region. In other news, the Freedom for ÖCALAN campaign is set to launch a new Dialogue Days initiative next month, advocating to end the Kurdish leader's isolated detention and spread understanding of his commitment to democracy and human rights. Learn more with Media News. A significant blaze at a bazaar in Iraqi Kurdistan's capital Erbil on Sunday evening destroyed over 370 shops and left over 100 injured, with the Turkish nationalist group claiming the attack as a campaign to reclaim what they assert as historically Turkish territory. The group released a provocative statement on Monday, articulating their demands. The statement described those who carried out the arson attack as brave warriors, celebrated reducing hundreds of stalls to ashes, and promised continued action until the region comes under Turkish control. The Erbil Governor's Office on Monday confirmed that a probe will investigate the circumstances surrounding the fire. The Turkish nationalists claimed a similar attack on the same bazaar in April, indicating an ongoing campaign against the region's Kurdish administration. Ahmed Karamush, co-chair of the Kurdistan National Congress, led a delegation to Washington for talks on the Kurdish issue and the role of the US in the Middle East. During the visit, Karamush spoke to Voice of America on the Middle East's deep regional chaos and, focusing on Kurdish regions, called for a major US intervention to stop Turkish attacks.
بتایبەتی کول روشة هەرشاربەشین کوردستانی کو ایریشن دولتا ترکیه لسر ڕۆژئاوا و باشووری ئەولێن داعشێ کو کول خواستن کۆبانێ داگر بکەن کوش بەرخوادانەکە دیرۆکی یا دسەد ساڵێن داویدی یا بێهەمپا کو هاتە نیشاندان لور پی درفت و امکان کو دانوستاندن تفگیرا کردی و بتایبەتی لروجاوا لگل امریکا لگل کوالیسیون ناف دولتی کو پیکات او بو سبب کو ایده دانوستاندن دیالوگ و جبو چاره سرکرنا وان پرسا همویان حتی روجا ایرو بر هیویامه جه امریکا اوه کو اوه با آوائه که جدی مداخله هرنده و لباکوره کردستان کو زخته لترکیه بکه کو کاربه ایده به سر ماسایا مذاکره دانوستاندن و دیالوگی جبو چاره سرکرنا پرسا کرد لباکوره کردستان بشوازکی سیاسی و آشتیانه.
Turkish airstrikes against civilian infrastructure, oil leaks and lack of access to clean drinking water are worsening the humanitarian catastrophe in Kurdish-led north and east Syria, according to a report by the UN-supported humanitarian initiative REACH. The overview of the crisis in the region, which has recently faced waves of Turkish airstrikes, specifically intended to degrade the region's crucial energy infrastructure, detailed that north and east Syria faced increased fuel shortages, especially in the Al-Hazaka governorate, where the unavailability of fuel reportedly affected the access to electricity in 50% of assessed communities. The report also claimed that the growing unavailability of fuel is one of the consequences of the damage to civilian infrastructure caused by repeated airstrikes in north and east Syria. According to the World Health Organization, aid to Syria has rapidly declined in recent years as global attention turns elsewhere, though there are more Syrians in need of humanitarian aid now than at any other time since the conflict began, it said. The crisis is particularly acute in north and east Syria, an unrecognised region subjected to regular Turkish airstrikes, invasions and economic embargo, which means very little aid can access the region. The organisers of the global campaign Freedom for Abdullah Öcalan, a political solution to the Kurdish issue, are set to ramp up their efforts in an event titled Dialogue with Öcalan, You Can't Imprison Ideas, scheduled from the 15th to the 22nd of June. The goal is to address the ongoing isolation of Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, leader Öcalan, and foster public discourse around his concepts and writings. The wider campaign hosts a range of events at significant venues, including the European Parliament, and holds major rallies across European cities. The campaign's most recent initiative, a series of dialogue days, will encourage discussions on central themes of Öcalan's philosophy. Speaking to Media News, Sarah Glynn, the spokesperson for the Freedom for Abdullah Öcalan campaign committee, emphasised the campaign's objective to disseminate and debate Öcalan's proposals for the Middle East and highlight his vision for peace and democracy worldwide. Glynn underscored that the campaign not only seeks to challenge the conditions of Öcalan's imprisonment, but also aims to integrate his theoretical contributions into broader discussions to shape a sustainable and equitable global society. The practical application of this will also be addressed.